Enitan, he began in a low, menacing voice. You will be punished for your insolence today. Your mother brought shame to our family, and you will continue to pay for her sins. Before she could react, he struck her across the face. The pain was sharp, but it was the betrayal that hurt the most. This was not the first time Chief Obasi had taken his anger out on her, but each time felt as devastating as the last. Enitan's days were filled with arduous chores and relentless scolding. From dawn till dusk, she labored tirelessly in the fields, fetched water from the distant stream, and cleaned the family compound. Despite her best efforts, nothing she did could soften Chief Obasi's heart. Every evening, after finishing her chores, Enitan would sit by the old baobab tree at the edge of the village. Here, she found a brief respite from her troubles, gazing at the stars and whispering her hopes and dreams to the night sky. She dreamed of a life where she could escape the shadows of her mother's past, a life where she was free and loved. One particularly harsh day, after a long list of demanding tasks, Enitan decided to visit her friend Amara, who lived on the other side of the village. Amara was the only person who knew the full extent of Enitan's suffering and stood by her side through thick and thin. Enitan, you must find a way to stand up to your grandfather, Amara urged gently as they sat by the river bank. You are not your mother, and you don't deserve to be treated like this. I know, Amara, but it's so hard, Enitan sighed, her eyes welling up with tears. He's my grandfather, and I still hope that one day he will see me for who I am, not for my mother's mistakes. One evening, after finishing her chores, Enitan was summoned to Chief Obasi's hut. She walked in, her heart pounding with anxiety. Chief Obasi sat on his ornate wooden chair, his face stern and unyielding. Enitan, he began in a low, menacing voice, you will be punished for your insolence today. Your mother brought shame to our family, and you will continue to pay for her sins. Before she could react, he struck her across the face. The pain was sharp, but it was the betrayal that hurt the most. This was not the first time Chief Obasi had taken his anger out on her, but each time felt as devastating as the last. As the months went by, the abuse continued and grew worse. Enitan tried to seek help from other villagers, but they were too afraid to confront Chief Obasi. They offered her sympathy in private, but dared not speak out against the powerful chieftain. The torment escalated onto one dreadful night when Chief Obasi's cruelty crossed an unimaginable line. Enitan, barely able to comprehend the horror of what was happening, felt her world shatter completely. She was left to cope with a burden no one should ever have to bear. Days turned into weeks, and Enitan soon realized that she was carrying a child. The weight of this realization crushed her spirit, but she knew she had to survive, not just for herself, but for the innocent life growing inside her. Enitan confided in Amara, who was horrified and determined to help. We must leave this place, Enitan. There is no future for you here. We will find a way to escape and start anew, Amara insisted. Together, they began to secretly plan their escape. They gathered what little provisions they could and mapped out a route that would take them far from the reach of Chief Obasi. Enitan and Amara's plan was risky, but they had no other choice. They chose a moonless night to leave the village, hoping the darkness would conceal their escape. With only a few belongings and the support of each other, they slipped silently out of Mbatse, heading towards the neighboring village of Abeni, where they hoped to find refuge. The journey was arduous. The narrow path through the dense forest was filled with dangers, from wild animals to treacherous terrain. But Enitan and Amara pressed on, driven by the hope of a better future. One night, as they rested by a small fire, Amara spoke softly. "We are stronger than our past, Enitan. We will find a place where you and your baby can be safe and happy." Enitan nodded, though tears glistened in her eyes. The fear of the unknown was overwhelming, but Amara's unwavering support gave her strength. She placed a hand on her growing belly and whispered, "I will protect you, little one, no matter what." After several days of travel, the two friends finally arrived at the village of Abeni, exhausted but hopeful. They approached the village chief, Chief Ayo, a kind and just leader known for his wisdom and compassion. Chief Ayo listened to their story with a grave expression. "You are welcome here, Enithan," he said gently. "No one should suffer as you have. You will find safety and support in our village." Enithan felt a glimmer of hope for the first time in months. The villagers of Abeni welcomed her with open arms, helping her settle into a small but cozy hut. She found work helping the village healer, an elderly woman named Mama Chika, who taught her about medicinal herbs and healing practices. As the months passed, Enithan began to rebuild her life. The baby grew within her, and with each passing day, she felt a stronger bond with the unborn child. Amara remained by her side, her unwavering friendship a source of comfort and strength. One day, while working with Mama Chika, Enitan met a kind young man named Kelechi. He was a farmer with a gentle heart and a ready smile. He often visited Mama Chika for remedies for his ailing mother. Over time, Kelechi and Enitan grew close. He admired her resilience and courage, and she found solace in his kindness. As their friendship blossomed, Enitan began to feel a warmth she had never known before. Just as Enitan started to find happiness, news reached the village of Abeni. Chief Obasi had learned of her whereabouts and was furious. He sent men to bring her back, determined to continue his reign of terror. Fear gripped Enitan, but the support of the villagers gave her the courage to stand her ground. Chief Ayo, alongside Kelechi and the other villagers, vowed to protect her. When Chief Obasi's men arrived, they were met with firm resistance. Chief Ayo stood at the forefront. "Enitan is under our protection," he declared. "Your cruelty will not reach her here." The confrontation was tense, but the villagers of Abeni stood united. Chief Obasi's men, seeing the unwavering resolve of the villagers, hesitated, and eventually they retreated, unwilling to face the collective strength of Abeni. Enitan was overwhelmed with relief and gratitude. She realized that she had finally found a place where she was valued and protected. The shadow of her past began to lift, and for the first time, she felt truly free. Months later, Enitan gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She named her Neka, meaning Mother is Supreme, in honor of the strong women who had supported her journey. The birth of Neka brought immense joy to the village, and Enitan felt a profound sense of purpose and love. Kelechi, who had become a steadfast friend and support, stood by her side, and their bond deepened with each passing day. Enitan began to see a future filled with hope and happiness, free from the torment of her past.